Hello my friends and welcome back, it's episode 6. It is time to proceed. Wait a minute, why am I talking to this guy again? Oh yeah, because we made contact with Alice, of course. I'm dumb. For some reason I thought we were still on the videotape bit. Okay. I can't imagine that this will be cheap. What was Alice's stated price? You're right on that count, 50,000. It's about as I expected. Thankfully we are prepared for this. I've established contact with a number of new clients. You find the information on jobs logged on your mission computer. One jobs file is on there already. While you're working to earn Alice's fee, I will continue to dig for clues about the dragon. If she is in fact roosting under Harford Manor, then there must be some evidence to support that fact. A dragon is a large thing to hide after all. Careful, Paul. Remember what happened to Monica. Never forget. Don't worry, Edmund. I'm going to conduct my investigation the old-fashioned way, through contacts, deduction, and careful observation. We'll not jack into the Matrix until this entire sorry episode is finished. Speaking of doing things the old-fashioned way, Millet is working to recover information off those other DVDs. It's a painstaking process, and it will not be quick, but she's optimistic that she'll be successful in time. Finally, I have been checking up on our friend, the orc with the skin grafts. I haven't heard anything back yet, but I'll keep you appraised as the situation develops. Sounds good. I'm going to check up on those jobs. One last thing before you go. Samuel Brockenboy wanted me to pass a message to you. You know him, the orc who runs the shelter across the way? Yeah, we've met. He has a job for you. He wouldn't discuss it with me, but he promised it would prove worth your time. He's got a job for me. How do you want to talk about a job? Yes, I do. Thank you for coming so properly. Tell me, what do you know about the Humanist Poly Club? They're an anti-metahuman hate group. He nods. The largest and most well-funded of its kind. The instigators of the Night of Rage, and the enemy of everything I stand for. Night of Rage, a worldwide race riot that took place in February 2039. Thousands of innocent metahumans were attacked, beaten, and killed. Women and children were crawled into warehouses for protection, then burned alive when the structures were put to the torch. This is what Humanist stands for. This is the agenda that its leaders strive to advance. They will not be satisfied until all metahumans everywhere are driven from the face of the earth. You want me to go up against Humanists? It's going to cost you. Yes. Your hurt arms will inform me of your business practices. Rest assured you will be paid. Now, I may discuss the details of the job. Yesterday I overheard one of my assistants talking on the comm. He was yelling, clearly agitated. I questioned him and he confided in me. And what he told me made my blood run cold. Let me guess where this is going. Humanist is planning something, an attack of some kind. He nods. Yes, I believe so. The Berlin chapter of Humanist has arranged to acquire a large shipment of extremely hazardous chemical. Their leader, Volker Stoll, is a vicious ideologue. It goes without saying that whatever he intends to do, it won't be good for us. Wanting to infiltrate the smuggling operation that is delivering the shipment. Once you arrive at the Humanist compound, you'll find out what they're planning to do with the chemical and put a stop to it. What makes you think they'll talk to me? I'm no more human than you are. Many of the smugglers are meta-humans. If you travel with them, Humanists will allow you into their compound. The rest will be up to you. Why would Humanists deal with a meta-human run operation? Presumably because they're the best option available. Stoll is nothing if not a pragmatist. He will work with metahumans when it suits him to do so. When he's finished with them, he'll discard them and move on. Wouldn't it be easier to just hijack the shipment? Why allow it to get to the Humanist compound at all? No, stopping the shipment would not stop Humanists. They merely acquire another. For a pack of snarling racists, they're extremely well funded. Let's talk compensation. What does the give pay? I've contacted sister organizations across Berlin and taken up a collection. Between us, we have raised 22,000 as payment. Trust this will be sufficient. I'll do it. Count me in. Excellent. I'm relieved. Make the arrangements for your meeting with the smugglers. The leader is an elf who calls himself Maxim. Take the U-Bahn to the Scotten Nest and you will find him waiting there. Best of luck to you, Edmund, and good hunting. Know you'll be doing a great thing for the metahumans of Berlin. Your efforts will not go unrecognized. You have one unread message. I'd like to arrange a meeting between you and one of our representatives. You find him at a cafe nearby. His name is Luca Durr. He'll be expecting you. Come alone. Pending. Farmer cleanup job. Here you'll find a complete transcript of my conversation with Herr Fuchs, a potential client. The job seems to be relatively straightforward and the payout is reasonable. One word of caution before you proceed. Aspects of this run you might find morally troubling. Be sure to read and understand specifics of the job before accepting. If you do expect, you'll be expected to carry out the requirements of the job in full. Reading the transcript, you may choose whether or not to accept the job. If you respond in the affirmative, our client will be notified and make all the necessary preparations for the run. Herr Amsel, yes, I'm here. To whom am I speaking? You may call me Herr Fuchs. Very well. Please describe what you'd like to have done. Straight to the point. I like that. Very well. I'd like to retain your team's services to clean up a mess. My employers dispatched a team of operatives to conduct a quiet operation at a local Schering Farmer AG lab. Unfortunately, they botched the job. The team was eliminated, but we have reliable information that one of the operatives has been taken captive. If this rogue agent were to spill information leading back to my employers, it could lead to a corporate war. A great many lives could be lost. My employers would like nothing more than to prevent such a tragic turn of events. I see, and you wish to retain my team's services to tie up loose ends. Exactly. Captive operative is a rigger by the name of Thorvald Enstad. We need him neutralized before he can inform on us to his captors. Enstad and his team have already put the facility on high alert. Stealth is not an option. Your team will need to shoot its way in, eliminate Enstad, and exit the facility. Straightforward enough task, and well within my team's capabilities. What are you offering in terms of pay? 15,000. The offer is non-negotiable. Very well, I'll pass the offer on to my team. You have one new message. $22 and 18, that's 40. And if this other job offers 10, then that will be precisely enough for me to not make any money. You're Edmond, the late Monaco chauffeur's replacement. Good, you look the part. Let me get to business. My organisation would like to retain your services for the indefinite future, but first we'll ask you to go on a trial run, an audition of sorts to prove that you're the right man for the job. Assuming that you complete this trial to our satisfaction, then we'll offer you a variety of simple tasks. All these should be achievable in the course of your everyday business. You won't need to go out of your way or expose yourself to much unnecessary risk. For each task that you complete, you'll be rewarded handsomely. There'll be bonus if you finish them all. So have I piqued your interest? Will you accept our offer? Who do you work for, and how do you know where to find me? The organisation knows everything worth knowing in Germany, including the small pond that is Berlin. It's in our interest, sir, to remain unknown to the world at large. For the time being, that is all you need to know. How much does this audition pay? I can offer you full 1,500 Nguyen. Only if you complete the full audition. Then run and post-run interview to our satisfaction. If you fail to perform up to our expectations, receive no pay and no further offers of work. Isn't much. It's an audition. The purpose of this trial is for you to prove your worth to us, not the other way around. Of course, you're free to decline if you wish, but know there are hundreds of runners in Berlin who would kill for the opportunity to work with us. As every shady person says. Came to you because you think you have the glimmer of potential. Prove us wrong, we'll happily take our offer elsewhere. Fine, whatever. Task at hand. There's a man named Alshar. He's a senior manager in Hermes Eurocom, a respected figure in his community. My organisation also suspects him of working with pro-corporate extremists. These people are actively working to undermine the Flux state and pave the way for a corporate-controlled Berlin. The organisation has no more desire to see Berlin fall to the corporations than you do. However, we are hesitant to act on our suspicions without proof. That is where you come in. So you want me to spy on him then? Not directly, no, but we need you to place him under surveillance. Meet with the team that I've arranged for you, and with their assistance, you will plant listening devices in his apartment. Take the U-Bahn to Frankfurter Tor and go alone. The rest of your team will meet you there. Hang on a second, I already have a team. You do, yes, but they are unsuitable for this job. Remember, this is a test of your abilities, not Iger's, Glory's, or Dietrich's. If it's that important to you, I'll work with your team. Very good. The moment you board the train to Frankfurt or Tor, your test will begin. I would advise you to bring what you need in terms of medical supplies and ordnance. Once you embark on your trial run, there will be no turning back. After you planted the devices and verified they work, come back to me. There will be a brief interview, post-mortem on the run if you like, and assuming I am satisfied with what I hear, I'll pay you your first stipend. We'll then discuss our future options. I'm going to presume that since this one pays a tiny bit of money, it's going to be like... Figured I'd run into you here, boss. Want to make sure I caught you before you headed off. Edmund, we need to have a talk about this humanist gig. Alright, but make it quick. I've got a history with humanists. I fought them back in 39 during the Night of Rage. Hell of a thing that was. I remember the terror, the senseless violence, the murdered children. I remember this little dwarf boy. They stuffed his body in the gutter, Edmund. I can still see his face, all bruised and broken. To this day, it makes my blood boil. Anyway, long story short, we can beat them. Berlin's punks and anarchists all came together and we stomped the living dreck out of those racist pigs. A lot of good people died that night, but we put down some of the bad ones too. Let me guess, you want to come on the humanist run so you can finish the job? That's part of it, sure, but not the whole story. I don't just want to come on this run, boss. I have to come. It's my nephew, Alexander. He's signed on with the humanists, driven to it by his worthless sack of a dad, no doubt. I take it your father, your brother, is a humanist member too. Nah, that would take a level of conviction, a quality he thoroughly lacks. My best guess is he's treating humanists as a boarding school. They feed and house their recruits. And that's money he'd rather spend on himself, so he dumped his boy off on them, and never mind the fact that they're fascist swine. Gotta get Alexander out of there, Edmund, before it's too late. Those monsters are experts at warping young minds. It's how their disgusting ideology propagates. I'll ask you as a personal favour to let me come on the run. I have to get into that compound. I have to find Alexander and turn him around before those animals make him do something unforgivable. Sure. Thanks, boss. Never doubted you'd bring me, of course. You're too good a man for that. But it's good to hear it all the same. Let's do this one first. Let's take care of these guys first. As the U-Bahn hums towards Frankfurter Tor, you tug idly at the fabric of your maintenance uniform. You found it in the duffel bag of your seat when you boarded, along with a note from Durr to put it on before your arrival. The moment you step off this train, note said your trial run begins. You're to rendezvous with the rest of your team, reconnoitre the building, plant specified devices in Aurscher's suite. Beyond that, approach will be left to you. Don't disappoint us, you are being watched. He's watching us. As you emerge from the dingy confines of the U-Bahn terminal and step into light of day, you find yourself confronted by a wall of muscle in a knight-errant uniform. You're in maintenance. It isn't a question. He stands impassively, waiting for a response. No, I'm a Shadowrunner here on a job. This uniform is just a clever disguise. You probably take this as a joke. Watch it. They might think you're hilarious back at the office, but there's nothing I hate more than a wise ass. Sorry if I offended you. Better, but keep the jokes to yourself from now on, otherwise I might just decide to treat you like the criminal you claim to be. Here's a hint. You don't want that to happen. Anyway, Shadowrunner, your fellow mop jockeys beat you here. Security checks came in green, so you're good to head into the building whenever you want to. Sooner would be better, by the way, for the both of us. Efficient operation you're running here. It's almost like you were expecting me. We were. No one gets on or off that train without us knowing about it. Don't worry, all the crypt paperwork has already been filed. You and your crew are good for the next 12 hours. Good to know you're so on top of things. We're the Knight Errant. Of course we're on top of things. Get what you pay for, and the owners of this building paid for the best. Have a good one. It's a joke. Hello, are you Mr. Edmon? I take it you're on my maintenance crew, yeah. Yeah, I am. My name is Jana. Where are the other two? I told there would be 4 of us. They sort of jumped the gun a little, they're already inside. Get it straight, they charged into the building, you didn't do anything to stop them. Told them to wait, our instructions were clear, and said we need to go in as a group. They didn't listen to me, they just went on in anyway. Alright, calm down, see you have a toolbox. You a rigger or something? No, not like you, not like the others, you should probably know that. What are you like? A normal person with a boyfriend, a cat, and a shitty apartment. Not a career criminal is what I'm saying, just an electrician. If you're not a Shadowrunner, then what are you doing on this crew? I'd rather not talk about it, just say that someone did me a favour once and I'm coming along on this thing, it's how I have to pay it back. Look, in the end that doesn't matter. I have to be on this run and you have to bring me along, it's what they want. Do you at least know how to defend yourself? Well, kind of. Bought my taser and a little holdout pistol for self-defense. I've done some shooting at the range. But never fired at a living thing before, certainly not a person. Hoping we can get through this thing without me having to. Yeah, well, I'm sure we all have things we'd rather be doing. Now you said our teammates went inside. You certain about that? They'll still be on the first floor. Nobody's getting upstairs until I bypass the security locks in the elevator. That's why I decided to wait for you out here. Figured they couldn't get too far ahead of us, so I didn't go inside with them. Good thinking, thanks. I just hope they don't screw things up in there. All I want is to get this thing over with and get back home. Speaking of which, let's get moving. Let's go, tiny dwarf lady. A mid-level corporate compound, complete with living spaces on the upper levels. As you step through the door, you find yourself confronted by a pair of men wearing the same kind of uniform you are. Judging by their expressions, there is no love lost between the two. Hearing the door swing open, they turn to face you. You're here, finally, and you brought our little mouse of an electrician with you. Better late than never, but not much better. You're tardy enough as it is. Leave you to keep our pack mule in line. Elf's lips curl into a snarl. Hanging from his back is a bulging pack that looks incredibly heavy. His broad shoulders sag under the weight of whatever's inside. He's dumb as a post, but he can lift heavy things. Might not be bad in a fight either. At the very least, he can soak up a few bullets for the rest of us. Staring daggers at the mage, he spits out a long string of foreign words in a single susurrant breath. The sound of it is lovely, but his expression leaves little doubt that the message behind the words is an ugly one. Oh, I hope you can speak Sperethiel. Damned useless immigrants. Do us all a favour and keep your opinions to yourself. Maybe the leader of this team, and I'll speak my mind whenever I please. Get used to it. Oh, and by the way, you think you could have gotten here any later, pal? Got an important meeting to get to, and if I'm late, shit is gonna hit there. This isn't getting us to your meeting any faster. No, it isn't. So let's get to the penthouse and plant the cameras. I'll mask them against detection, and we can all go our separate ways. That pack looks heavy. I can help you with it if you want. Told you can't understand a word he's saying. Nothing coming out of his mouth but that pigeon drivel that elves call a language, a Tir Tinagire dialect, if I'm not mistaken. We should do us all a favour and go back. Musical tones of elvish tongue pour out his mouth again, but you can't make out a word. His dialect is quite foreign, unlike the form of Spethrol spoken by the elves of Tyr or Nog. The elf falls silent. He looks just as frustrated as Mage is. As the Mage is? Okay. Just relax and concentrate on the job. Now all together, let's discuss our approach. Anyone know how we're supposed to get into Alshar's penthouse? I do. If you get me to the building access panel, it's on the same circuit as the penthouse. Should be able to put the security system into maintenance mode. The job will take some creative rewiring. Well, that and whatever's in the pack the elf is carrying, our employers gave me the schematics. You know where we'll find that access panel? Mouse? Quit calling me that! And yes, I do. There's an access panel on the mid-range apartments on the same floor. My contact gave me the key code that should get us in. You said should twice already. That makes me feel uneasy. Well, nothing I can do about that. It's the plan I was given and we're stuck with it. Unless you have a better idea, we just have to follow our instructions and hope for the best. Get me to a building access terminal on this floor and I can rewire the elevator. That's the first thing we need to do. And once we're upstairs, use the code I was given, rewire Alshar's security system, and we hide the cameras in his apartment. That's the theory, anyway. Alright, let's go. You could eat for a week for the price of one of these sandwiches. Let's see that suit. +2 charisma suit. Not interesting. Towards the back of the catalogue you find some more practical chrome, but nothing that a Shadowrunner would want. From designer replacement linens to nephretic screens for alcoholics, Argument Tech carries the very best in fashionable implants for the ultra-rich. Metal enhancement section seems a little more promising. You don't see anything that you couldn't already find. You're about to turn away when an ad on the last page grabs your attention. The newest iteration of the Encephalon system, complete with integrated math SPU. Ashland next is called bleeding edge commercial grade tech. Non-compete agreements prevent it from being sold at most stores, but you found one that carries it. Looking at the new Encephalon, huh? Good choice. Our regional supervisor has one. It's amazing. Totally worth the price. What is the price? It doesn't say on this screen. I'm doing a special right now. Yours for only $250. That's actually really cheap. Okay, sign me up. Sorry, you don't understand. We're a boutique shop, not a cyber surgery clinic. Sell your device and you have it sent to the clinic of your choice for installation, but we don't do the surgery here. Now the proud owner of an Echelon Next will have it sent to the triage cyber clinic as your request. When you arrive, follow the doctor or a member of his staff, proof of purchase that you're holding, and he'll know to fetch it for you. Your security clearance doesn't authorize you to be in here. Oh, we'll be on our way then. Can I help you? Yeah, can you open the door to the utility area? We have some work to do in there. Door is security coded, Delta grade. Your ID says that you're a Theta, so no, I can't open the door. You're not listening, we have work to do in there. I heard it loud and clear, Mop Jockey, now you listen to me. Nobody without Delta clearance gets through this door, period. It's just up to management. If you really need to be in here, they'll upgrade your clearance. Otherwise, piss off. Sorry about that, we'll be on our way. On our way! Hello, we in your way? We wouldn't want to keep you from your work. Right, the last thing we want is to come between you people and whatever it is that you do. The flux dilator is leaking coolant. Real message over, believe me. I think it's fine, we're just doing routine maintenance checks. Well, don't let us get in your way. Not in the way at all. Say, what are you looking at there? This holds up display model, so it's easy. It's a small chip along with a glossy, attractive information sheet. Pediatric skill wire plus system for our son. Little Hansden's the very best, and you'll need it if he wants to compete with his classmates in the academy. That means headwear from Augment Tech. May not be as rich as the other parents, but this is at least something we can do. Stuff isn't cheap, you must be very devoted parents. I'd like to think that we are, and no, it isn't cheap, but unfortunately these kinds of enhancements have become nearly mandatory at top tier schools like the academy. Son's classmates come from affluent families. Even the least successful of Hans' peers has a pediatric encephalon, and it ranges on up from there. The academy grades are on a curve. If we want to send Hans to school without any enhancements, we'll be setting up for failure. What about the kids that can't afford cyber surgery? The scholarship students, you mean? Well, I suppose that someone has to be at the bottom of the pile. But yeah, someone won't be our hands. It's an unfortunate situation, of course. But then, that's the world we live in, isn't it? Yeah, it is. You wouldn't want hands to wind up at the bottom of the heap like me. I should say not. You seem like a good man. Don't mean to insult you, but you know how cutthroat it is out there. Hans will have every advantage even if I have to mortgage the house to provide it to him. Goodbye now. This well-dressed orc stops his pacing to stare at you as you approach. Heavy worry lines etch his forehead and his eyes are bloodshot. It looks like he hasn't slept in a month. I don't want to be rude, but I'm a little busy right now. If this is about building maintenance, take it somewhere else. Watch it. You don't get to talk down to me like a janitor. Yes, I do, because that's what you are. You want to keep wearing that uniform, you better watch the attitude. Now, isn't there a floor you should be cleaning or something? I got a lot on my mind to worry about. Important things. I don't want to be bothered. Don't mean to bother you. I'll leave you alone. Can I just annoy him? Aha. That guard in the hallway? Well, he's standing next to the junction box just like this one. Looks like they're both on the same circuit too. So, use this one to overload that. The one that the guard is standing by. Yeah, I could just feed a nice power spike into that one from here, you know, if you wanted me to. What would that do? Make a loud bang, arc enough voltage into that hole to knock out a gang of trolls. Alright, fry him. He's fried. Rubber shoes in motion. Wordlessly, Jana pops an access panel at the base of the terminal and begins snapping wires. A few moments later, she replaces the panel's cover and stands. Alright, that should do it. Bypass security lock in the elevator. We're good to head upstairs. Let's get moving then. Probably should like drag that corpse and hide it somewhere, but you know. That would make a little bit too much sense. Alright, I'm going to need you to get me to this floor's access panel. It'll be in room 303 on this floor. The door combination is 1429-1. 1429-1. Okay, and then after she does that, the penthouse code will become all the ones. I'm making halfway decent time, but not good, but not terrible. I can't afford any more delays. I hope no one gets in our way for their own sake. Yeah, tough guy, you're in a hurry, we get it. Shut up about it already. I'm under instructions to follow your lead. This will be a very different conversation. Yeah, well, you are, so shut up and deal with it. God, I wish that we didn't need you to finish this job. Sadly for all of us, you do, and by the way, we're going to have words when this run is over, Mouse. Look, it's trying to speak. I want to get this over with, Edmund. I want to get away from these people and go home. That guy is such a throbber. It's supposed to be 1429-1. Oh well, must have made a note of it. 1429-1. Unless this is not the correct apartment. Code accepted. Welcome, homeowner. Moving the painting aside, you find a large maintenance access panel. Jana steps forward, a slight frown on her face. Okay, I guess this is me. Pulls a multi-tool from her belt and uses it to loosen the bolts that hold the panel in place. Pulling up a schematic on her PDA, she examines the terminal's wiring. Hurry up, woman. Clock is ticking. Don't rush me. This is complicated. Popping the lid on her toolbox, she grabs a pair of wire clippers, a soldering gun, and a roll of electrical tape. The look of grim determination on her face, she begins to snip the massive harness of cables that run through the unit. Alright, I'm going to need that thing now. He nods and reaches back to unsling his pack. Placing it on the floor, he opens up and pulls a large blue canister. It takes all of his strength to wrestle it up from the ground into the space in the access panel that Jana has cleared. There you go, you dumb ox. Do something useful for a change. The elf says nothing, unburdened by the heavy pack. He stands up straight, and for the first time you appreciate how much larger he is than the corporate mage. He stares down at James, and his hands bunch into fists. Stay cool, man. We're almost done. The elf understands you. He shows no sign of it. He continues to stare James down, and the mage continues to ignore him. Payload in place, Jana goes back to work. It only takes a few minutes for her to screw, wire, and solder the canister into the harness. She inspects her work, nods, and turns to face you. Alright, job's done. Just need to do a bit of cleanup and we can get out of here. That's it? According to this, yes, the penthouse security system should be inactive. Let's move then. To hell with the cleanup. We'll be gone before anyone notices anything anyway. Just a second, what was that canister you put into the terminal? Beats me. For all I know, it could be full of pixie dust. They said I had to wire it into the wall at this junction, so I did. Our employers don't tell us much, do they? You haven't been doing this for long, have you? The lodge doesn't tell you things you don't need to know, and you don't ask. The job is to do what they tell you, take the money, and keep your mouth shut about it afterward. It's all very simple. The lodge? You don't even know who you're working for, do you? You're leading this team and you don't have a clue. Both of you, shut up. Somebody's coming. A tall, deeply tanned man rounds the corner at a jog and comes bustling into the room. You recognize him as the father you spoke with at the TheEdmon tech kiosk. He stops short when he sees your team and a smile falls from his face. You, the guy from the cyberware kiosk. What the hell is going on here? This is my apartment. I own it. You can't just waltz in here and start pulling the walls apart without my consent. For maintenance, look at the uniforms. Yeah, I see that. It doesn't give you the right to force your way into my home and start tearing up the walls. At the very least, you should have given me advance notice. It's a waste of time and I'm already running late. If you don't take care of this idiot, I will. The elf barks something out at James. The sound is uncharacteristically ugly. All harsh consonants and sibilant hisses. Keep your mouth shut, James. I'll talk this out with our friend here. Talk this out? The hell with that. We have a job to do and he's in the way. Deal with him and do it fast so we can get back on track. Alright, buddy. You've asked for it. I want to know your employee number and I want to know it now. I'm a member of the Homeowners Association for this level. You know what that means? I have a lot of pull with building management. Your days wearing that uniform are numbered, I promise you that. Calm down, sir. There must have been a problem with dispatch. You should have received a work order last week. I didn't receive a thing from dispatch, or from anyone else for that matter. My wife and I are entertaining our guests in here in an hour and a half, and the living room is ruined. You know, if you're going to fix this, and that you'll clean the place back up, and that you'll put a new coat of wax on the floors, I need... To hell with it, I don't have time for this. His hands twist into claws and he raises them up high. An instant later, they are wreathed in an unnatural purple glow. James, stand down. We do not need to kill this man. The glow intensifies into a scintillating torrent of light. The energy lances and stabs out of James' hooked fingers as if it were alive. The man in the doorway recoils in alarm and his palm slaps down a plastic disc that has been clipped into his belt. Too late, you recognize the object. A panic button. The air fills with a cacophonous wail of screaming alarms. James jerks back, his concentration broken. From the hall, you can distinctly hear the sound of heavy footsteps approaching at a run. Meanwhile, the homeowner backpedals, trying to put a wall between himself and James. He's moving too slowly. Much too slowly. Everybody, stand down. Your words are met with an incomprehensible screech. In your peripheral vision, you see a flurry of motion. Your elvish companion is moving, making a beeline towards James. Jana is hanging off him, trying to slow him down, but he barely seems to notice. With a kick, he sends her tumbling to the ground and reaches for his weapon. Stop, damn it. We need him alive to complete the run. With a kick, he sends her tumbling to the ground, then turns back towards James. I hate the bastard too, but Jana's right. We need him. The elf comes up short, staring at you. He sweeps his vision from Jana to James, then he exhales heavily and spits out a jumble of broken German. Killers of innocence will not stand for, will not slave. All lodgemen are bastards. I will kill all. Alright. Burn, baby, burn. And he's down. Man. 50-50, but it sure doesn't feel like it. Man, that stun gun is quite good, actually. Remember this combat. That hurt. Boy, am I tired of missing. Dusty! Alright, at least I landed one hit. Rat tat bang. Oh, okay, this gun is quite short range. Around the corner. Oh my god. Man, that taser is really good. You found the off switch for the enemy. Oh. These misses are frustrating. To say the very least. Of course he missed, he's bloody useless. Even on a ley line he's useless. I got like a 50 to 60% chance hit rate, and I'm hitting like 1 in 6 hits. These hits are piling up. Well, at least I finally landed one hit. That's nice. Oof. This is my taste, and my taste is amazing. One. He attacked me, our elf. The fucker tried to kill me. Been insulting him ever since we arrived here. What did you think was going to happen? If you'd been a better group leader, you wouldn't have let that happen. You'd have. Oh, for the love of God, shut up. Just stop talking. We're both sick to the death of you. You need me to. Yes, finish the run, so let's go do that now. To finish the mission, yeah, that's true, but if you don't shut that smug mouth of yours right now, you're going to arrive at your meeting without a tongue. Without another word, the mage turns and stalks off in the direction of the penthouse. And he will. He will arrive without a tongue. And speaking of tongues and talking, that is enough for now. So, I hope you guys are enjoying it. I'll see you guys next time.